Hi, Fred here for another Tuesday Tent Talk, and today we're going to talk to you about RFID tags. I know some of you were at ARA and we featured as one of the top manufacturers to put RFID tags in all our tent fabric this year, pole tents, sailcloth, center peaks. And with the buzz, or with some people out there have showed some interest and said, hey, what do we do for our existing inventory if we have one of the readers and we want to identify our old inventory? I said I would put something together, so that is the video today. I'm going to show you. It's going to be a little bit long. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, but I'm going to show you how my recommendation is that I would put it in my used inventory with that. We do a couple different things. You people that are listening to us that don't know what an RFID tag is, this is it. It looks like a little piece of Trident gum. It does not have a battery. When you use the reader, it actually sends radio waves to it, and it charges this and then sends a wave back, and it will tell you what piece. Is it a sidewall? Is it a top? Is it a sailcloth? Is it a structure roof? So that's how it works. So what we do, or what we came up with for used product or putting them in existing inventory, is these little PVC pouches. So if you are lucky enough or big enough that you have a dielectric welding machine or a hot air or a wedge machine, you could just weld this in with that machine. I'm not a big fan of the handheld sort of glorified hair dryers. They tend to do more damage. They take a lot of skill, because you need three things when you weld PVC: speed, temperature, and pressure. And it's very hard to do it with that sort of hot air handheld device. I like the Miller Weldmaster machines, some of the other welders out on the market, or a K-Bar, Forstrom, Fiab for dielectric machines. If you do have one of those, you can just take this PVC pouch, put it in, and just bring the bar down. Please keep it away from the pouch so you don't hit the reader, and that may throw it off, so you want to stay on to that. So if you do have that, obviously you could just take our little pouches and weld them right in. So let's talk, if you don't have that and you have some old inventory you wanted to try, I've got my little piece that I just sewed up for us as a dummy sidewall, let's just say. Generally, when we put it in, we put the RFID tag very close to the tag, so you know if it does have a reader in it or not, tag. So I'm going to take my little PVC pouch. A great bonding agent for PVC is this right here. We do sell it. It is available on the market. HA66. It's been around for a long time. It is a PVC glue. Comes with its own little applicator. One of the important things when you use this is make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. Read the instructions on the can. Make sure you're doing everything right. But when you apply it, don't apply it to the sidewall. Apply it to your patch or your RFID tag. So these patches are welded on three sides, and then they're sort of hinged on the back side. So I would just put a little bit of glue on that, let it set up, and that's what they recommend. Let the glue set up a few minutes. And once you do, and then when you place it, whether it's a patch or this RFID tag, when you set it down, don't slide it. Wherever you slide it and you get glue on it, it tends to, after a period of time, the glue will go yellow. So you want to keep the glue between the patch or the tag and the sidewall. So right near my tag, I'm going to just weld that down. Now, why am I only welding it on the top side? I like to be able to flip this up if dirt gets in behind it. If I just welded these two sides down, I could get some buildup of dirt there. It could make the wall look dirty. Personal preference, if you want to glue the whole patch down, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to use it like a hinge, I would put that on, put a little bit of pressure. If you have a wallpaper roller with a rubber roller, not a wooden one, just you could roll it on. You could take a small weight and put on that. And that's going to set up in about 15 minutes, and total cure is probably 24 hours. for that. Before we started shooting the video, I did a couple of samples. So I did this one as a hinge. This one's set up. We're probably at 30 minutes right now. Pretty good shape. And this one I fully welded down, so you can see that. So that's welded right down all the way. Another way that you could do it is our repair tape. So if you get our repair tape, so we have 3 different varieties. We do this in a sailcloth, which is a translucent. We do a laminate in block out, and then we do a coated block out. So get the appropriate repair tape that you have for whatever product you're going to do, whether it's a sidewall, a rooftop, a sailcloth, or a coated roof panel. Adhesive back, I would just peel that back, and I want to give the chip enough room. So I'm going to place that right in the middle of it, my little piece of Trident, right in the middle of that tag. It's fully adhesive, and then I'm just going to apply that on, and then just press it down and leave that. Now the downfall with this is you've got to, be aware of your wash facility. So if you're doing a lot of washing on that particular product, you want to do a test on this to make sure that your water's not too hot to affect any of the adhesives on this that may let that tag slide or that little reader chip come out. So pretty basic ways to put in these chips, gluing them, using the repair tape. And now we're going to step over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how we do it on the sewing machine. But before I do, again, they come in a little packet of 10 for $100, and then we have a packet of 10 of just the little chips for $20. So keep that in mind. So I've got my little pouch, and I'm going to weld it in. I've got a sidewall here with our regular tag in it. There again, I want to put the RFID tag somewhat close to this tag, but instead of gluing this on, I'm going to sew it on and make it a permanent fix. Today I'm using a single needle machine, lock stitch. If you have a chain stitch machine, I don't know if I would recommend it for this. I would try to use a lock stitch machine. Could be a double needle machine, as long as the gap didn't get into the pouch. We don't want any water getting into the pouch there. And then when I'm going to sew this on this sidewall, I only have 1 layer of fabric here. So I really don't want to sew into this and put this chip in it. So I'm going to sneak up by the top and put it into the hem here. And I'm going to sew that in right now on that hem. So what that's doing is that hem up there has 3 layers of fabric plus the 2 layers of the pouch. So I'm going to get plenty of material between my stitching. I'm not going to have to worry about it ripping out or anything like that. So just a simple, I'm going to sew that tag right in. And then my tag's in. I don't have to worry about, I can send this through the washing machine now. It's affixed, it's adhered to it. I don't have to worry about it. My old inventory is all marked. It'd be a great spot where if I wanted to mark this wall, whether it be a grading system or the year that I got it, but I would sew it in that. Don't sew it down in here. If you're gonna glue them in, I would glue it in this area, but if you're sewing, get up into the meat of this. It's not gonna hurt you. It's actually gonna help you in the long run. So if this was a top, a center peak top, regular 2-inch frame, a buckle top, I would put it on the valance. Now it's gonna be a single layer there, but I don't wanna sew in the roof, because if I make needle perforations in that roof, there is a chance, if this thread doesn't swell up and seal that needle hole, that I could get leaking into the roof of the tent. So I would keep it on the valance. Maybe you can make it in the corner where there's a reinforcement, but that's what I would recommend on a center peak top. So sidewalls, center peak tops we talked about. I made up a little, just a small little ketered top here. So this could be a 20 meter, it could be just our regular 40 wide, it could be any size ketered roof panel. I've got keter on both sides. So what I want to do is I want to get back into fabric, but with this, because we're pulling it over the top, and you're gonna have a directional where you pull this roof panel in. What I don't want is to go over the purlins and catch this and rip the tag off. So what I'm gonna recommend is getting it on the valance, so that's the piece that's not gonna lay on the roof. It's gonna break the arch and come down and go into the tension pocket or into the catenary. And I'm just gonna sew all three sides, because if I pull it over the top, I don't want it to catch the purlins or one of the crown pieces spreading the structure and rip the tag off. But I don't want it also in my roof, so I'm just gonna sew this. And remember, those of you that took our sewing class, you know, if you've got a new sewer and maybe somebody that's not really efficient at sewing, what you could do is just turn this. So I could push the reverse, and I'm just gonna sew this tag in by hand. So you don't necessarily need to use the motor. You don't wanna put all those needle perforations in the roof. I'm just gonna back up and turn it by hand and sew the tag in. You know, maybe you're not sewing tags every day. Maybe that person works in the wash facility and you've just got them doing general repairs and you're worried that's gonna be a little bit too close for them. So I would just use my hand, or you could use the foot pedal. And there I have it. I've sewn the tag, my RFID tag, on all three sides. And I don't want to sew the bottom side, because the way we made that pouch is that's hinged and the reader's in there. I don't want water to get in there. So there is a chance, you know, we could get a little bit of dirt in there, but we could definitely do it. I don't think we've got a problem with that catching the roof purlin as it goes over, but you could sew that in. And then what I was explaining on that is that we want that piece to break over where we've sewn that over the edge of the structure. So I just have that sewn part here, not up on the roof panel on that. So again, you know, I hope this helped you. We had a lot of questions. A lot of people are excited about this new. You've asked for labor savers, and I think this will help save labor trying to find pieces, keep track of pieces, know what sort of condition they are in. Guys are taking the readers out into the field. They can scan it and then put right into the reader. Doesn't need to be washed coming back. I think this is the way of the future, the RFID tags in the tent tops and in your fabrics. If you have any questions, reach out to us at TTT, We Make Tents, and we'll see you next week on Fred's Tents.